Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today we're going to be highlighting a project that is in the Solana ecosystem that is an AI agent launchpad platform that actually did go ahead and have their TGE with their main token launch about a week ago at the time of recording this video. And as always, before we get into the thick of the video covering the project on today's video, if you guys do get value out of the content here, if you want to stay up to date with the videos we put out daily for you, if you guys could subscribe to the channel and like the video, your support means a lot. So obviously when we take a look at Solana over the 7 days, Solana has had an incredible 72 hours. Now obviously there is a big meme coin that is going around that we've talked about several times already the last couple days, so we're not going to get into that right now. But the point is that we know Solana as an ecosystem has a lot of money, a lot of liquidity sitting on, within the Solana ecosystem right now. Now, I do believe that we are going to be we're going to be seeing a liquidity shift here in the near future, something that we covered in yesterday's video as well. Now, when we look at Solana ecosystem, I do think that we can take a look at the narratives that have been running and have been showing strength as of late, AI and AI agents more specifically. Now, when we take a look at an AI agent platform today that again had their TGE go live on January, I believe 16th, or it was the 16th. I think it was originally supposed to be the 14th. They moved it to the 16th, 2025. So literally about a week old at this point. Moemate, when we take a look at what Moemate is here, again, they say it's a playground for community to build, own, and share generative AI applications and AI agents. So they do have their platform live here that you can actually go ahead and create these AI agents on their platform. When we take a look at it, there is a lot of agents that have already been created. I do believe that their platform actually went live about 2 years ago. I want to say 2023, but they recently had their Mate token go live in January, obviously that we just covered. But again, when we look at the amount of agents, plenty of agents here. I mean, they already have about 6 million users. Now we're going to go through the website here as well. Then we're going to be taking a look at a couple Twitter threads and Twitter updates, a couple things to go over what Moemate is and why I'm so bullish on this project in the Solana ecosystem. Because again, as we've covered in the past, Solana doesn't have that solidified top AI agent platform. Now we've talked about other platforms like Top Hat, Dacia, or Vivi, or Vifu, however you want to pronounce that. But Moemate to me is another, contender here as well, because they've been around for a while, but they didn't have a main token. There is the Mo token as well, I believe, for one of their agents, but this is mainly for the Mate token that recently launched. So when we take a look here, obviously they have their use cases of, what is going to be going on within their platform as well. Community-driven AI economy. Again, we all know that AI agents is a hot narrative, one that I continue to believe and have high conviction on, that is going to keep performing throughout the cycle. Again, we are seeing a lot of the money being sucked up in one central place right now, but I do think when that liquidity starts coming and flowing back into the markets, back into the top narratives, I do think that AI agents is going to return to run and be one of those hot narratives, and the Solana ecosystem has already proven to be one of the top chains to be taking a look at all throughout this cycle. But more specifically, a lot of that money did just flow in and is still there over the last 72 hours or so over the weekend here. Now, they have been featured on a couple big platforms. They do have some pretty decent backing as well. But if we go over a Twitter thread here by DeFi Muchi, I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. A couple things that they put out here. They believe that Moemate is posed to be the leader of the AI category for a few reasons. Now, a couple things that are interesting here. They do have that consumer AI narrative where, AI, VR, AI companions is taking off. Now, we see this with other platforms, but Mate is uniquely positioned in this narrative as they've been building for years and have integrated with some of the top social apps, the platforms. Now, it is true, with their Moemates, their AI agents, they actually do have the ability to talk to you. They can overlay as well. That's part of the AR, VR, I want to say, with the AI agents. So a couple, unique advantages there. It's not just all text. They can actually talk back to you, which is actually quite interesting as well. Tech, Moemate sets itself apart with its unique functionality. Only project with screen perception. Only project with live AR, VR support. Only project with which is a desktop companion with computer control coming up, and only project with long-term memory. Again, these agents are pretty unique to the Moemate ecosystem, that they give them that edge over platforms on Solana like Top Hat and Dacia, in my opinion, again, because they have that long-term memory and the fact they have that screen perception, and they actually can talk back to you as well. Now, a couple other things, they have some strong partnerships already with Kip Protocol and Aether Cloud, a couple projects we've talked about in the past as well. They say the team is also part of the original team which worked on AI16Z. Obviously, we can see how that went for that project. So, this person says that they wouldn't be surprised if Mates goes to the billions. I think whoever clearly, sets themselves to be one of the top AI agent protocols platforms on Solana, I do think has a chance to go to the billions. Now, I'm not saying that specifically is going to be Moemates. I'm just saying that that's a potential for that project to potentially go to in this cycle. But as always, nothing I say is financial advice, just bringing awareness and going over projects that I have conviction on and giving your guys' opinion on as well. Now, touching back on that partnership with Kip Protocol and Aether Cloud, again, these are two strong AI projects that we've covered in the past. Announcing the Agent Dojo in collaboration with those two projects. Our incubator for the flagship AI agents will be launched by the Moemate team, as well as with our partners. With the Agent Dojo, we aim to create a playground for AI agents, creating agents for real-world use cases and offering the community the foundation on which they can create their own flagship AI agents. So this is quite interesting here as well. Again, these are two solid partnerships. Kip Protocol, which has been building for quite a while and actually has revenue going on there as well. A solid AI project, and Aether Cloud, a solid AI DeepIn project as well, which again is at a higher market cap and has a lot of hype going for it also. So a very strong partnership to create their Agent Dojo here also. Now, when we look back at the Mates token, again, what's interesting here is that when we saw it launch on, about mid-January here, now we saw the Trump coin, I don't want to talk about it too much, but we did see, Trump's meme coin here launch, I believe, on the 17th. Now, when that happened, obviously we could see a spike down here as a lot of people started to sell their positions to get in and FOMO into the Trump token, and then later on following meme coins as well. Again, we've talked about that in the last several videos, so you guys can go and find out more about that if you want to. Honestly, if you don't know about the Trump token by now, I don't know what you're doing, but that's where we saw over the weekend a lot of altcoins actually bleed out and go severely discounted because we saw all this liquidity exiting and getting sucked into Trump's token, and a couple other meme coins following that narrative as well. But what's interesting is that when we look at the Mates token, especially being such a low cap and a new launch in such a altcoin bearish climate of a weekend, we can actually see that instead of going down and staying down throughout the weekend, Mates put in a new all-time high. Now, granted, yes, it is a new launch, so it's not that hard to do, and that's not a lot saying. But again, we have strong projects in the AI sector, even other sectors and narratives as well over the weekend, and that are still took a massive beating. But when we look at projects that showed strength and held up, Mates actually went from again about these like 5 cent levels all the way up to touching almost 0.006, 0.005, almost touching a penny here over the weekend. So this project, and just staying there again until recently, and then even right now it is still up from that initial Trump sell-off. So again, when we look at projects that are in the AI sector, AI agent narrative, that are showing strength amidst this whole Trump coin liquidity black hole event that is going on currently, and still right now, again, we are seeing some projects recover, but not fully. Moemates is definitely showing strength against the tide here as well. So that's why I think you do have to have your eyes on the Mates token. Again, this is a new launch. Do not forget that this chart could go either way, as we are still in a very choppy market condition right now. Now, when we look at it, it does sit with about a $15 million circulating market cap with a fully diluted of 143 million. So there is about a 9 to 10x dilution there. But when we go look at their Twitter here, they actually did share the vesting that you can either pause the video or read this as well. They also, again, have it on their Twitter. But again, they do point out that all the supply is community owned. Only communities have largely participated in the Mates formation. So they have come up with the tokenomics, which is neither 100% unlocked at launch, or they don't have big supply overhangs as the distribution is with the community as well. So when we take a look at it, again, we notice that a lot of these are on a small cliff here, like the strategic partners, 6-month cliff, 4-week cliff as well, 3-month cliff. But some of these actually are going to start vesting very soon here. So they actually did launch with only about 11% circulating. So that is something worth mentioning, is that there is definitely some vesting going on with Moemate. But again, the community is in the majority here as far as the token supply, so that is something you do want to make note of as well. But for such a low market cap play that is showing strength over the weekend, which in my opinion is something worth mentioning. Now, yes, it recently launched, so definitely keep your eyes on it. What's interesting here is that when we go down to the exchange listings, they are essentially only on dexes right now. They do, I believe, have L Bank. I mean, these are maybe tier 3, tier 4 exchange listings. They're not really that popular, so we're still missing stuff like KuCoin, Mexi, Gate.io, Bybit, Bitmart, stuff like that. So when we take a look at exchange listings, there is still lacking for tier 3s, tier 2 exchange listings that could be coming on the future, on the horizon here for this project. So I definitely think those are catalysts to keep a lookout for the future. But at a low market cap for a platform that has been building for quite some time now, and that I do again believe that they have about, I want to say they had about 6 million active users, 500k community created agents with over 500 million agent interactions. I mean, those are huge numbers. Again, I think a lot of people are going to get it mistaken that just because the token went live here recently, they're going to believe that the Mates ecosystem with all their agents also only went live recently in 2025. But do not make that mistake. This project has been building for years. They have the users, they have the created agents already, they have those top tier partnerships and the vesting, whereas there is some vesting to definitely keep an eye on. It's not the worst, but definitely keep an eye on that vesting schedule. Again, if you want to, feel free to pause the video to actually read this vesting. I don't want to read it off when you guys can literally just pause it. Or again, I encourage you to look more into this project if that's something that does seem of interest to you. If you see the potential here with Moemate as a platform. Now again, when we look at their Twitter here, they do have their Mo token as well for the Nebula agent, also their AI celebrity upcoming superstar. So they do have, it's like an AI agent, I believe, underneath Moemate. So they have that Mo token. If you want to look more into that, you definitely can, but this is mainly to cover the Mates token as well for the Moemate ecosystem. But as always, guys, that is my opinion on Moemate. I think it's definitely something to keep note of because it's on the right chain, Solana, for an AI agent. We're seeing a lot of liquidity flow in and stay for right now on Solana, but I do think we are going to see that liquidity shift here in the near future for sure. And the fact that they are showing strength here over the weekend, yes, it is still new, but people easily could have dumped all their positions here and FOMO'd into those different positions, as we saw with a lot of other top tier projects. But the fact that people actually either kept their position or added to their position to Mates instead, I think does definitely show a lot of strength here. And it's still at a low market cap for a platform like this, especially when we can compare it roughly to something like Top Hat at a 50 million or Dacia at a 40 million, and those two were on major retracements. Those two have been down 40% over the weekend, where Moemate has only been up essentially throughout all this Trump mania. So definitely keep a lookout on Mates. If I was you, I would add it to your watch list at least, especially if you're looking for these agent platform launch pads on Solana. If you do believe the thesis that we have here with these kind of projects, definitely take a look at Moemates. But as always, guys, if you guys got value out of the video here today, if you want a way or optional way of supporting the channel to get into some of these calls with us and just again get some of your answers more directly answered privately in the private community, there is a Patreon linked below. Or as always, if you got value here, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.